I'm going to talk to you in this video about the 5 biggest time-sucking CEO mistakes. Mistake number 1, procrastination. When we work with CEOs that really want to turn their business around, they're usually stuck at a certain revenue level. Sometimes they're able to make a certain amount of money. Let's say about $3 million is about a glass ceiling there, that they get to 3 million and then they can't seem to break through that ceiling to get to 10 million. That's the reality of it. They can't get to 8 figures. Now, one of the things we do when we onboard clients and we start to serve as their board, one of the questions that I think is really powerful is, what are the things that you've been what are one of the ideas that you've been wanting to implement in your business, but you haven't been able to implement it? And usually they'll come back with some really good ideas. You know what? I've been thinking about renegotiating all of my contracts. Or, you know what? I've been thinking about adding CPI to my contracts. Or, you know what? I've been thinking about this great marketing campaign that I haven't been able to execute. And so then we just go, okay, we write that down, and now we're going to hold you accountable to delivering that. So procrastination is one of the things that really kill CEOs. It's the inability to get things out of their mind fast enough. See, where I really start to struggle, and I mean, I've got a great track record. I mean, we've done 40 million in sales. I'm also the chairman of a company that has the experiences of 17 billion in mergers and acquisitions, helped companies increase their sales by 1.2 billion, and also done 50 rapid turnarounds. So it's companies on steep decline that need to be turned around quickly. And through the experiences of hanging out with the other team on the boardroom, with other sophisticated business owners, and my own experiences, I've really learned that that this procrastination can really kill progress for business owners. And what I find in my own life as I go through my personal journey is that the more inefficient I am at getting things out of my head, the slower my business grows. If I can get things out of my head and write them down and get them organized really quickly, then I can actually grow my business much more effectively. One of the quotes that has always stayed with me in my business journey is this one. It is that if you can, and hear me clearly here, because I need you to understand that this is really important, that the faster that you can implement things, the faster your business grows. And so if you can't get into a situation where you extract things out of your head, write them down, and either delegate them or organize them, then you do not grow your business. And people that are wildly successful, here's the quote, are obsessed with being organized. I am so obsessed with being organized. If I'm not 3 clicks away from something, I'm very frustrated. Like that's how organized I am. Because I cannot afford to spend 5 minutes looking for something. I just can't. I cannot afford to spend 5 minutes looking for something. I need to know where everything's placed all the time, so I'm not wasting time. Because every moment that I'm unproductive, I actually experience frustration. I do. Why? Because I set a high standard for myself, and I know that the less organized I am, the less successful I'll be, and the less income I can make, and the less impact I can make. And so I'm very clear on getting hyper organized. The second thing that really traps CEOs and gets them time sucked is saying yes to things. Unfortunately, as a CEO, you've got to say no to a lot of things, because your team's always going to be, hey, can I get your advice on this? Or, hey, can I get your help with this? Or, hey, can you look at this for me? Hey, can you? And you end up getting dragged in 1,000 different directions. So as a CEO, you've got to be able to say no. You've got to be able to say, look, I wish I could help you with that, but unfortunately, I'm over here working on some really critical things that if I don't get them off my plate, it's going to hurt us all as a company. So I'm going to need you to really focus on getting that done. Here's a little bit of advice for you in how to get that done. Is that okay? And you can coach them and mentor them in getting it done, but you cannot do it yourself. You have to say no, because if you get stuck doing small minutia activity that you could probably pay someone $100, $20, or sorry, not $100, if you could spend $20, $30, $50, or even $100 in getting them done, that's the only way you can ascend your worth to $1,000 per hour, $2,000 per hour, $5,000 per hour, $10,000 per hour, is by focusing on the outputs that you have whenever you're doing your day-to-day job and you're just going through your business, right? That's number 2. Number 3 is perfectionism. A lot of CEOs want to have everything perfect before they release, but that's not how business should be. We should be more agile than that. We should be able to release things, test them, see how they're going, experiment with them in the wild, get the customer feedback, and then adapt. Rather than spending all of your time in in perfectionism, you should just get something out, test it, and see how it operates. Because you know what? Perfectionism might be perfect in your eyes, but it might be absolute rubbish in somebody else's eyes. It might be absolute crap in other people's eyes. And so your perfectionism is really just a reflection of yourself. But you don't want your products and services to be a reflection of yourself. You want your products and services to be a reflection of your customer. So get out there, talk to the customers, find out what they want, and build elegant solutions for them, and you will be successful. The next one, the fourth one, that will kill a CEO in terms of their productivity is multitasking. Multitasking is the worst thing you can do. It is the worst. You can't do two things. I can't do this video and also check my Facebook newsfeed at the same time, because then I'm distracted from doing what's important and I'm not focused. I'm not present in the moment. So multitasking is not a good thing. Don't jump from one thing to another in rapid succession. What you can do is block time. So you're going to spend 15 minutes on this activity, then the next 15 minutes on this activity, then the next 15 minutes on this activity, like I've been doing. Just before this, I had an interview. Somebody interviewed me from the sales. It was Pat Helmers from the Sales Babble podcast. So thanks very much, Pat, if you're watching this. Somebody just interviewed me, and now I'm doing this piece of content for you. And so I chunk up my time. That's not multitasking. I'm doing one thing at a time. That's what I'm focused on. Then I moved on to the next thing and give it absolute focus. So please do not multitask. Multitasking is not effective, and it does not work for someone that is hyper diligent on being organized. And the last one, the fifth one that I'm going to cover, this one's really important, is worrying. Sometimes, even last night, I toss and turn. I got up at 3 a.m. because I was thinking of all the things that weren't done. And I started to worry, okay, what if I forget? So what I had to do was get out of bed and add it to my to-do list. I had to add it to my to-do list so that when I woke up in the morning, I didn't lose those thoughts, because I was spinning on, the reason that I was spinning on those thoughts is because I didn't have a system to capture them because I was in bed. So I had to get up out of bed, I had to write it down so that I could let go of those thoughts. And sometimes that's what happens in business. Sometimes the worrying comes from, it's a symptom that something's wrong. And so if you have a strategy to fix that which is wrong, then the worrying goes away. It's all about strategy. If you've got a strategy to solve that pain that you're experiencing, then that pain should, in essence, go away. Let's say you're worried about making ends meet, or you're worried about finances, or you're worried about the fact that you haven't landed a new client in a few months. You can stop worrying about that if you develop a strategy to solve that problem, and you build a plan, and you develop KPIs for that plan, and then you go back and measure that plan frequently and frequently. You'll actually find that your worrying will go away. So worrying is a complete waste of time. Another practice that can help with that is meditation. So getting good at meditation. And meditation is really just being able to consciously manage not control your thoughts, but manage your thoughts. Not control your thoughts, manage your thoughts. Because when you get good at meditation, you'll realize that ideas and things are going to flicker through your mind like a news feed. Your mind's going to be pushing all these things through your, let's say, news feed, and you as a human being, you sometimes look at those things in your thoughts, and you start to really resonate on those things. Like, oh, this happened to me in my childhood, or I've got this thing coming up next week, or oh, this bad situation happened and I had an argument with a colleague of mine. Like, those things start to flick through, and you start to look at those news feeds. But what you do when you're meditating is acknowledge that there is a newsfeed there, but you completely ignore that newsfeed. And you don't allow yourself to drill in on anything, because all you're doing is allowing your thoughts to pass, because you are not your thoughts. Your consciousness is higher than your thoughts. And so if you're the type of CEO that nobody likes to worry, but if you're the type of CEO that does worry, those two things can be really helpful. One, developing a strategy for getting over that worrying. But number two, making sure that you practice things like meditation so that you can just let go of things that you really don't need to be holding on. Because when you hold on to those things, they put additional weight and burden on your shoulders that you shouldn't be holding. It makes you more ineffective. Doesn't make you as good of a leader, because sometimes you might react emotionally to the people that need you most, and nobody likes an emotionally reactive person. Nobody likes the person that you can't predict, because all of a sudden they're going to slam their fist on the desk, or they're going to yell at somebody, or they're just going to say a really condescending joke to someone. Nobody likes people like that. Nobody likes working for people like that. People like security. People like to feel inclusion. People like to feel love. People like to feel like they're part of family. And so you need to nail all these things if you want to be a great CEO. So look, they're the 5 things that you can do that you've got to avoid those time-sucking CEO mistakes so that you can take your life to the next level. Thank you very much. I'm Oscar Chavez. And look, I do have a 1-hour workshop where I can teach you to make 3 million on LinkedIn with zero ad spend, multi 7-figure contracts on LinkedIn with zero ad spend. All you need to do is type me in the comments and I can send you that for free, no charge, because it's part of the way that I'm going to add value to you. I will see you next time. Thank you very much for your time.